Everybody, welcome to week 6 of EEA 520. So last week we looked at Excel, and you guys did an activity filling in the Excel spreadsheet. So you guys did an awesome job on that. I'm still going through and just grading those and getting those recorded. Also still going through your CPT 6 assignments. You guys have got some awesome topics, so I'm going through those and grading those, getting those back. Still working on that. Will probably be this week, maybe into next week. May still be working on those. Got a bunch of them, so just getting through them as quick as I can. So this week we are looking at professional development, and we're also looking at personal learning networks. So one of the things we're doing is we're looking at social media. So we're looking at social media and how that can be used in terms of professional development. Oftentimes, professional development ends up being a second thought or is a little bit lower on the priority list. A lot of times, professional development ends up being fairly expensive. So when budgets are tight, a lot of times professional development ends up suffering. So what we're doing this week is we're looking at how you can use social media tools on your own to fill in your professional development needs. So how you can use tools like Twitter and groups like LinkedIn groups, also Facebook groups, how you can use those tools to get information for professional development. So a lot of times we hear about social media and sort of the negative uses of how students are using it to bully other students in schools. So there's definitely some negative sides of social media when it's abused, but there's also some good ways that it can be used to help fill in our professional development needs. So this week we're looking at that. We're looking at how you can create personal learning networks so that you can use these social media tools to connect with other educators, not just locally but around the world, and start having discussions with other educators as far as things they're doing, interests they have. You can use these tools. So when you have a question, you can post a question out to, say, Twitter or to maybe your LinkedIn groups or your Facebook groups, and you can ask that community a question, and then you get people responding back to you, getting you that information. So that's how social media tools can really be effective for professional development. So let's look at assignments we've got coming up. So let's talk about the personal professional technology use presentation. So this one, it's not due this coming Sunday, it's the following Sunday. So the idea with this assignment is what you're going to do is you're going to talk to administrators in your school. If you can only find one administrator, that's fine. The assignment wants you to talk to a couple different administrators, but I realize some people just have one administrator in their school. So it's fine if you just interview one administrator, but interview the administrator and their support staff. The idea being is you want to interview them and find out what type of technology, hardware and software, they use in their day-to-day jobs. So a lot of them will use Excel, a lot of them will use their smartphones. So those are just a couple ideas of some of the things you'll discover in your interviews. But what you want to do is you want to interview them and see what tools they're using. You want to find out, you want to take inventory of these tools, just create a list of the different technologies that they're using. And then you want to identify what the skills are that you're lacking in those tools. You want to come up with a plan for how you can get up to speed so that once you become an administrator, you have the skills needed to use these tools. So you'll do the interviews, you'll do the inventory, you'll get an idea what tools you're using, and then you'll create a plan for how to get up to speed on those tools. You'll also want to make sure in your report that you have how you plan to keep current in technology, whether that's blogs that maybe you've uncovered through this class or through your work. Maybe it's keeping in contact with your IT department. So there's all kinds of ways of keeping up to date on IT, and this assignment asks for you to identify that. So this is going to be a PowerPoint. It will be a presentation. So it can be a Prezi presentation if you use Prezi and you like that. You can you can use Prezi, you could use Google Slides. Just want to make sure that people are able to access your presentation. So whether it's Google Slides or whether it's Prezi, you'll have a URL to that presentation. You want to be able to share that and make sure that people can see that URL in that presentation. Otherwise, just use PowerPoint. That's typically what everyone will use. Just create a PowerPoint presentation and then share that. All right. Also, continue to work on your e-portfolios and your e-journals. There's still people that haven't completed this assignment, so please make sure that you're getting in there, you're checking the grade book. If you look in the grade book and you don't see a grade, then I haven't received that assignment for you yet. So everyone that has turned it in, I've graded that and gotten it back to you. What I have seen is it's the e-portfolio assignment where we're creating that portfolio on Blackboard. I'm sorry, I take that back. It's the e-journal. See, I'm even getting confused on these two assignments. So the e-journal assignment. So what I have seen is I'm seeing emails coming through saying that people are sharing that assignment, their OneNote notebook with me. But in Blackboard, they haven't submitted the checklist. And so what happens is I don't see it in Blackboard. Blackboard doesn't tell me that there's anything there that needs to be graded. So that's the idea of that checklist is once you create the folder in OneDrive and you upload your e-journal into that folder and you share that with me, you then take that checklist that's in the assignment description and you just put check marks by the box, and then you upload that Word document to the assignment, the eJournal OneDrive assignment. And then that tells Blackboard, it says, hey, there's an assignment here that needs to be graded. It tells me that there's an assignment there that needs to be graded, and then I grade it. So please check that, ask questions. If you still have questions about the assignment, please ask that. If you're not getting your certificate, if you're not going for your certificate, then you don't need to do the eJournal OneDrive assignment. You should still do the portfolio because you'll use that in other classes that you're taking throughout your program. So you'll still want to put that together, but as far as your eJournal, you won't need to do that. All right, I believe that's everything for the week. We've got the lecture. Please make sure to go through, read that. We've got the discussion question this week. It's a pretty broad discussion question. I realize it's a pretty broad discussion question, but I don't want to constrict you guys. I want you guys to think about ideas as far as professional development and some things that you could do as far as setting up a professional development program. So there's no right or wrong answer. Just make sure you answer it. All right. Thanks, everyone. You guys are doing an awesome job, and I will talk to you guys later. See ya.